So I'm the Greek Geek because I'm 50% Greek and 100% a geek. Star Wars The Clone Wars is easily one of my favorite TV series of all time. It's considered a children's cartoon, but boy can it get deep, dark and violent at times. And that's why I love it. And one of the other things that I love so much about Star Wars The Clone Wars is the awesome lightsaber battles that happen in the show. We get so many different types of lightsaber battles, multiple Jedi fighting multiple Sith, all these different scenarios that we could have only have dreamed of between episodes 2 and 3. So in this video, I would like to go through 10 of my favorite Star Wars The Clone Wars lightsaber battles. Number 10. Ahsoka Tano and Luminara Unduli vs. Asajj Ventress. Season 1, Episode 9, Cloak of Darkness. This is one of the earliest lightsaber battles in the Clone Wars TV series, and it does show. The animation quality is a bit rough, especially in this first season, but despite that, there is some good choreography in this fight. I like this lightsaber battle a lot because it showcases how deadly Asajj Ventress can be, how good she is at subterfuge and assassination and using the environment to her advantage. She is able to take on both Luminara Unduli and Ahsoka Tano at the same time and get the upper hand on them both. And Luminara Unduli is a Jedi Master. She even takes down a few clone boys. In my opinion, this is one of the best lightsaber battles in the series and is excellent at showcasing how deadly Asajj Ventress can be.
Do you think you'll still be able to call on the Force after I've separated your head from your body?
Number 9. General Grievous vs. Ahsoka Tano, Season 5, Episode 9, A Necessary Bond. I bet you forgot about this lightsaber battle, didn't you? So Ahsoka is trying to stop General Grievous from going all Anakin Skywalker on some Jedi younglings. What I like about this lightsaber battle the most is that showcases what General Grievous could have been. What I like about this lightsaber duel is that he is more like his 2003 animation self than anything else in this entire series. He even uses some of the moves that series used for General Grievous, like grabbing someone by the face with his foot and throwing them around like they're nothing. Seriously, one simple music change could make this more like the 2003 Clone Wars series. So General Grievous right off the bat is using 4 of his lightsabers, shows that off. It's still not enough to take down Ahsoka though. She holds her own for just long enough to stall him and then manages to escape. Of course she escapes because this is Clone Wars version General Grievous and he's no good at doing anything really.
So many lightsabers to add to my collection.
Number 8. Ahsoka Tano vs. Pre Vizsla, Season 4, Episode 14, A Friend in Need. This is a very brief lightsaber battle between the two. You're probably thinking, it's not even really worth mentioning, it's that brief and probably not that memorable. Except for the fact that Ahsoka Tano opens up the battle by fucking decapitating 4 Death Watch Mandalorian soldiers. And people say that this is a kid's show. Clearly, Jedi are keepers of the peace and only use violence as a last resort, and don't enjoy killing people. So this battle starts off in a really cool way, as I mentioned before. So they only fight very briefly. Pre Vizsla shows some of his lightsaber techniques. He's very good at hand-to-hand combat, using some of his other weapons as well. He does get the upper hand on Ahsoka and almost kills her, but then battle erupts around them between the renegade droids and the Mandalorian Death Watch. So this battle is very brief and it shows Ahsoka's growing prowess, using the lightsaber, being able to hold her own against Pre Vizsla, and using her tactical sense to attack his jetpack that would cause it to explode on his back, instead of just outright killing him.
Not bad, Jedi.
I didn't miss.
Number 7. Anakin Skywalker vs. Barriss Offee, Season 5, Episode 20, The Wrong Jedi. You know, it really surprises me that despite Anakin using his hate and anger to beat Barriss Offee into submission in the Jedi Temple in front of dozens of Jedi, that this wasn't a major red flag to the Jedi Order that, maybe this guy has some anger issues and might turn to the dark side in the future. But nope, everything's fine apparently. Barriss loses her trust in the Jedi Order and thinks that the Jedi have lost their way, which they have, and like other Jedi before her, turns to the dark side and shows that she has Asajj Ventress's dual lightsabers. It's surprising how much Barriss Offee gets the upper hand on Anakin. She is using dual lightsabers, and in this series that gives you double the fighting power apparently. And she is using the dark side, so I guess that kind of showcases that turning to the dark side does actually improve your power. And Anakin doesn't start getting the upper hand on her until later in the battle when he starts using his anger, frustration, and probably some of the dark side if I'm being frank. And about this battle, I like that they're both using 2 lightsabers each. Even though it's not for the entire duel, you don't see that very much. You don't see that many battles where both combatants are using 2 lightsabers. Uses a bit of interesting choreography. I liked it.
I've learned that trust is overrated. The only thing the Jedi Council believes in is violence.
Number 6. Darth Maul versus Pre Vizsla. Season 5, Episode 15, Shades of Reason. What do you get when a power-hungry dark side maniac and the leader of the Mandalorian Death Watch cross paths? An epic lightsaber battle, apparently. Despite not having force powers, in this battle, Pre Vizsla shows how good he is at hand-to-hand combat in general. Despite not having force powers, Pre Vizsla more than makes up for it with a large variety of weapons, tenacity, ferocity, and sheer battle experience. Pre Vizsla has so many weapons at his disposal. He's got the Darksaber, a jetpack, full maneuverability, obviously, blaster pistols, a flamethrower, grenades, round razor discs, and whipcords. It really shows off why the Mandalorians were feared by the Jedi and how they used all these different tools and weapons to get the upper hand despite the Jedi having the power to use the Force. I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but Maul restricts himself in this fight by not using the Force, and they fight very evenly for most of the fight, one getting the upper hand, the other briefly, and then vice versa, and that keeps going for a while. Pre Vizsla even manages to disarm Maul with a very precise laser blast to his wrist. Maul responds appropriately by breaking his freaking arm, promptly beating the shit out of him, and decapitating him. What a badass.
So be it. Give him his weapon.
Number 5. Anakin Skywalker vs. Count Dooku. Season 4, Episode 18, Crisis on Naboo. This duel is excellent in showing the growing prowess of Anakin Skywalker. This duel opens up with Dooku first using his Magna Guards to try and weaken Anakin a bit, and Anakin just straight up bodies them, no trouble at all. Shows how much more powerful and much better he is at fighting because he takes him down so easily as opposed to before when he really struggled to take him down. He even remembers to use his mechanical hand and use it as an advantage. That comes in handy. Whilst battling against Anakin, Dooku is clearly shown to be getting winded, so he's having trouble dealing with Anakin after every encounter with him, and it's getting harder and harder every single time. And this one, he is getting visibly winded by trying to hold him back. He attempts to throw furniture and cutlery at Anakin, and surprise, surprise, that doesn't work. Anakin is almost able to defeat Dooku, which gets Palpatine very excited, even managing to physically choke Dooku. That's how badly he had him down. Even then, Dooku manages to almost escape with Palpatine, but then Obi-Wan, disguised as Hardeen, swoops in and saves him. Dooku escapes and compliments Obi-Wan, and then shit talks Anakin by saying he sucks, even though he was just getting his cheeks clapped by Anakin a few minutes ago. Easily one of my favorite lightsaber battles in the entire series.
Well done, Master Kenobi. You are a worthy adversary. I cannot say the same about your young apprentice.
Number 4. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker vs. Count Dooku. Season 6, Episode 10, The Lost One. On the Pike home planet of Obadiah, Obi-Wan and Anakin track down Silman, who was promptly killed by Count Dooku personally. Some things are just that important. So finally, Anakin and Obi-Wan get a rematch with Dooku together. They have a chance to get square after what happened in Attack of the Clones. And they do much better than what they did when they faced him last time. As in, one of them doesn't lose their arm and the other gets their arm and legs disabled. Dooku still demonstrates while he is one of the best duelists in this era of Star Wars. He is outnumbered. He's fighting against Obi-Wan and Anakin both at the same time. They surround him. He's able to flip around very, very quickly. Very maneuverable for a very old man. Even in his old age, he's able to hold these two back, and Anakin is so much more powerful than what he was last time, and Obi-Wan is more experienced than last time as well. So again, Dooku is getting visibly winded by taking them both on at the same time, until the Pikes show up, try and blast him. He takes advantage of Obi-Wan and Anakin trying to do a dual force push against him. He takes advantage of that and is able to escape. Again, I love seeing these three characters duel each other. It is a good time.
You should have joined me. Sifo Dyas understood. He saw the future. That is why he helped me.
Number 3. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Adi Gallia versus Darth Maul and Savage Opress. Season 5, Episode 1, Revival. I love this battle so much because it showcases how deadly Savage Opress and Darth Maul are together. They are a nigh unstoppable force together and are extremely dangerous. Throughout the duel, Savage just shows how brutal and strong he is. Adi Gallia tries to cripple his legs. He's unfazed by it, gets kicked in the kneecap, doesn't even care. And then Savage freaking kills Adi Gallia. He force pushes her into some wreckage, runs into her, headbutts her, impales her on his head spikes. She drops to the ground and he fucking stabs her.
That's fucking metal as fuck, dude!
Obi-Wan is then obviously forced to retreat because fuck fighting those two at the same time. And he's backed into a corner and has to fight them both at the same time. Obviously, he's getting his ass kicked at first until he uses 2 lightsabers, which of course gives you the power of 2 Jedi in this series apparently, and he's able to freaking cut off Savage Opress's arm. Again, is this even a kid's show? This is not a kid's show. Number 2. Ahsoka Tano versus Darth Maul. Season 7, Episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice. This duel is unique in the sense that it uses motion capture to capture the movements of the 2 actors in the duel. So you may notice that the animation is so much smoother. Damn, that's smooth. Ray Park, who played Maul in The Phantom Menace, and Lauren Mary Kim, both fantastic stunt performers and actors in their own right, return to play the 2 characters. Battle starts off with Ahsoka throwing shade at Maul by saying that he would be no match for Anakin. And let's face it, that's probably true. And as good as Ahsoka is, she is still struggling to defeat Maul. She is visibly out of breath halfway through the battle. So it shows off some excellent fight choreography. It's all very smooth. It looks awesome. Of course, it doesn't really contrast well with the rest of the series because this looks so much different and more smooth, but a bit more realistic. Then the battle moves precariously onto some pipes underneath the landing pad. Footwork is a very key element here, jumping between the pipes and trying to fight each other at the same time. Maul desperately wanting to get away, and Ahsoka desperately does not want him to. But of course, Maul doesn't manage to escape and is incapacitated by Ahsoka and is captured by the Republic. And it's so damn cool to see Maul using dual lightsabers again. I wish he was using that throughout the entire series. That would have been awesome.
You're lucky Anakin didn't show up. The way you're fighting, you wouldn't have lasted long.
You have Kenobi's arrogance.
You'll find I have many qualities for you to dislike.
Number 1. Darth Maul and Savage Opress versus Darth Sidious. Season 5, Episode 16, The Lawless. I don't think my number 1 is going to surprise anyone at all. I love this battle. I love this battle between 3 villains of the series. It's just so awesome, and we haven't seen that in any other Star Wars media, well, outside of the video games. And I really think that this is one of the best battles to come out of the Clone Wars series, and that is saying something. So Darth Sidious walks in all menacing-like. Maul senses his presence. He's wearing his hood, the perfect disguise. Hey, wait a minute, now that I look at him, hey guys, I think Chancellor Palpatine might be a Sith Lord. So Palpatine shows how badass he can be. Super powerful in the Force, but super competent at using lightsabers as well. Dual lightsabers in this case. So even two Jedi Masters still have trouble taking on the combined might of Savage Opress and Darth Maul. And Obi-Wan was only just able to get away from them when he was fighting them last time. Darth Sidious, he takes them out like they're nothing. Throughout the battle, he's laughing, he's cackling, they surround him, he doesn't care. They push him out a window, he just smiles and pulls them out with him. He just does not care, and him just visibly having a good time during this duel is very infectious. He just is so powerful. He takes down Savage, stabs him, ends him just like that. Maul then decides to use the Darksaber and attempts to take down Sidious, which of course does not work. He is taken down by the sheer power of Palpatine's Force Lightning. He doesn't kill him, but he does intend to use him for something later on. Easily my favorite lightsaber battle in all of the Clone Wars series. So thank you for watching. That was just my personal top 10 Star Wars The Clone Wars lightsaber battles. Of course, there are many other ones out there. If you have some favorites, please comment down below and let me know. I would love to see what everyone else's favorites and why. That would be fantastic. And if you're new to my channel, I talk about a lot of science fiction, monster movies, superhero movies, and fantasy movies. Mostly in movie review form, but I want to do more kind of top 10 and ranking kind of videos in the future. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please consider hitting the subscribe button. If not, that's fine. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a nice day. And as always, thank you for listening to me ramble on about Star Wars The Clone Wars and all of their epic lightsaber battles. I really do appreciate it. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next time.